Welcome, brothers and sisters, to the Smartsistah show, and I am your host, Smartsistah, and today is our Hump Day Healing video where we're going to continue our discussion of intergenerational trauma. Now, most of you all, if you've already been following this series, you already know what intergenerational trauma is and what impact it's had on our people. Now, for those of you that may not know, please go to the beginning of the series and learn more about it, because I don't want to keep repeating what it is as we cover all the symptoms. And today's symptom is fearfulness. Now, fearfulness, as you all can imagine, what we went through during slavery that instilled fear in us, which was done purposefully in order to keep us subjugated and to try to keep us from uniting and keep us from killing slave masters and taking over. Now, we already know from the beginning, when we were stolen from the motherland, we killed folks on the boats. Many, they had to take out insurance, mutiny insurance, because our brothers and sisters fought to the death, okay, to keep from being taken and to keep from being enslaved. Okay, they said sharks will follow the boat, because either one, they were throwing us overboard for our attitude, or because so many of us died in the hulls of ships. But then a lot of us were, even though they cut our tongues out, we still were able to communicate and mutiny. You know, we took the boat over. Y'all already know the famous story of the Amistad, where they took the boat over and went back to Africa. So it's a lot of history. I'm sure many of you already know, but I would say please go back and study. And I think the reason why I'm talking about fearfulness is the fact of the matter is most of us know more about the Holocaust and the horrors of the Holocaust than we do our own ma'afa, our own struggle and the brutality that we endured during slavery. And that's a reason for that too, because basically you all know, when you know who you are and you know what your people went through, you have very little tolerance for bullshit. Okay, and that's what has shaped me over the years, and is the reason why I am dedicating my life now to doing more education, to getting us where we have to go, because we've never truly dealt with the level of pain and brutality that was put upon us. And that is because, one, of the pain of it, having to deal with it and understand what it is. That's why I was saying that's the whole point of doing this series on intergenerational trauma, because until we go in deep like that, until we deal with the pain that we already have, that most of us were even born with, then that is what's going to keep us clear and move a lot of the crap out of the way so that we can unite as a people. See, too many of us are trying to explain it away. We don't want to admit it, and oh my God, all white people ain't the same, and we can't do this, and and I gotta be a Christian, and I gotta turn the other cheek, and all of that. It's a time and a place for everything, but the main thing you've got to understand is what happened to you, and there is nothing wrong with facing it. Everybody else does. Right now, I bet you I could ask some of you all, you know more about what happened in the Holocaust, as I said, and it's okay for them to remember and to never forget. Okay, but when it comes to you, when it comes to us, oh no, you know, that was the past, and you know, why bring it up? It's not productive, blah, 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 blah. But everybody else can deal with theirs. Okay, see, that is the main reason I'm telling y'all is why we cannot get it together. Okay, because too many of us are still stuck on stupid, or we trying to run away from something. You cannot run away from yourself. And for all of y'all that are in freaking denial, that you don't even want to acknowledge anything, shows you how obviously mentally ill you are in the first place. Because who does that? Who lets their oppressor teach their children? Who lets their oppressor make all the decisions that affect their community? That's a mental illness. And some of us are really going to have to own up to the fact that that is what has affected us as a people and kept us from moving forward. Now, if despite all that cruelty, inhumanity shown toward us, we still have the humanity to try to deal with people and forgive people and give them a chance. We do. Because let's face it, if Caucasians had been put in the same situation that we were put in, you all already know how murderous they would be and who they would come after. Okay, so let's go back and really kind of peel off another layer of this onion. And like I said, fearfulness, I think, is very important in understanding the behaviors of coons, of other folks, sellouts, people like that, because they don't want, the fear is still so deep within that they never want to face anything. They never want to step to the plate. It's much easier to just forget it and roll it over and push it in the back of your mind and not deal with it. And then that's when you're even more mentally ill. Can you all imagine the fear that we endured? Okay, let's just, we know all about the ovens and the experimentation and the da-da-da that happened to Jewish people. Okay, what about us? We were killed from the moment they took us from the motherland till we got here. Okay, those of us that had to heal after they made the voyage before they could even be sold. You pull people, families away from each other, sold each other. You're here, you don't know what's going to happen to you. Okay, you on the plantations, like I said, they made sure slaves did not trust each other or would fear the retribution of the owner. So they would do cruel things to different people for any little simple infraction to make sure you stayed in check. And I've talked about this in other videos, when they would quarter us, so you know what that is. And they pull your legs and your arms and your whole entrail splatter on the ground, and did that in front of everybody to get you in check, to put fear in you. Okay, we won't talk about the beatings. I've read some slave narratives when they would beat you so bad you swell up and blister, and then they would put salt and pepper on the blisters to burn you, to make it worse. I just read about some woman owner in New Orleans, and they say this house is still haunted, where they were experimenting medically on us. They botched some kind of sex change operation they were trying to do. Many of our ancestors were found dead where they had sewed their mouths closed, so then therefore they starved to death and died. It was another thing I read about a woman that they broke both of her arms and both of her legs, but they set it so the bones would grow out so she looked like a crab, the way her arms were twisted and how they healed. Okay, we already have discussed before about the different medical procedures. There's a book called Medical Apartheid that you can get to learn all the experimentation they did on us for everything, all kind of things. Okay, so like I said, until we own up to what really happened and how really evil white folks have been, we're never gonna get anywhere. Because if you keep covering that up and trying to act, wish it away, pray it away, oh, stop talking about it, we've not ever talked about it enough. Because if we did, we would not have all these coons that we have today and people that are willing to sell their soul for approval from the white man. Okay? That is the key problem. Not only here, but all the countries where black people have been colonized, in the Caribbean, in the motherland, everywhere. It's been the same game, the same cruelty, inhumanity shown to us everywhere. So all of us are suffering from it. So I'm really a little tired of people that don't want to talk about Pan-Africanism, because we all been through the same shit. And we all been messed up the same. They have intergenerational trauma as well. But at least, thank God, with the African Union and some things going down right now, more and more and more black folks are waking up and understanding how they've been trained to not fight the white man, to be afraid of the white man. That's all white folks do, is try to instill fear. And that's even to their own people. White supremacy can't exist without making people afraid and making them believe that white is supreme over everything, and you don't have a chance or a heartbeat that's strong enough to be able to fight them in their bullshit. Okay? And so that's just it. But you do have the strength to do that. Anybody, I've always said, if you get up and put your drawers on one leg at a time, and you breathe in the same air I'm breathing, then how are you supreme? Can you stop the wind from blowing? Can you put the sun out? Okay, let's be real, people, about what real power is and what this demon has done. Okay, so yes, and I said demon because that's pure evil that has happened to us. Pure evil. And you need to call it out where it needs to be called out. I don't want to start hearing, but black people, see that whole thing where you got to always go back and blame the victim. That's part of your programming. What the hell? Ain't shit I can do to nobody. Steal a purse maybe. I could shoot you too maybe. But can I institutionally, systemically do anything to you, white folks, and anybody else? Hell no. So why you always got to take the argument back to the victim? Okay, and I'm not saying have a victim mentality. I'm saying stay clear and focused on what you need to do because of what the hell happened to you, because of intergenerational trauma. That should make it crystal clear to you what you need to be doing and what you need to stop doing. Okay? Stop cooning. That's all I'm saying. Get real clear and focused on what you need, because they're still using fear tactics. If you look at it in the United States with our politics and politricks, it's all about fear. It's all about, they're stoking up white folks. They done let little Kyle Rittenhouse out, okay, to let white folks know it's okay. You can go to a march that's about black folks that marching for another black person that's been hurt or killed by the police. You can go there as long as you take your AK-47 with you, or AR, 15, I don't even know all these damn rifles. And they didn't put the dog whistle out like, it's okay, go kill and do whatever you gotta do to protect white supremacy. That's what that whole case, that whole thing is about. Now, where in the hell would anybody black be able to do that? So it's the fear. They keep you in fear. If I'm too afraid to challenge anything, okay, then you got me in check. I'll never come up against you. I'll never unite with somebody else to come up against you. You know, I'll never do that. For you all that are Christians, okay, they used our spirituality, because the origin of Christianity is African. So you need to go do your homework and figure that out first. And Jesus sure looked more like us than your little discount store picture at the dollar store or the 99-cent store of Jesus. Okay, so as a Christian, you know, you need to look at your history and see how they twisted and used Christian doctrine to make you think God is white, so then therefore you can't go against God. So once again, fear. Let me put this fear in you, because if you really think you're going to fight me, then you're going against God. You're going against what you believe. And it's worked. Most of y'all don't know Denmark Vesey, because see, some of our past black leaders that were preachers, Christian preachers, was some of the most deadly that was going to handle their business. They didn't allow that because they know what the true spiritual meaning of it meant. And did y'all know Denmark Vesey was the minister that started the church where that other fool killed those 9 brothers and sisters in that church? Well, that was a church founded by one of the Christian revolutionaries that was killed by white folks. But he was killing. He wasn't even tripping, because he knew what needed to be done. And see, white folks know your history better than you do. That boy went and killed them people in that church around the anniversary of when Denmark Vesey was assassinated and killed. See, they do stuff, symbolic, satanic crap to reinforce the evil that they stand for. Okay, so that's when he killed them. There's a rhyme and a reason. But yet still he gets given Burger King on his way to the jail. Really? Really? Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's that fear. That's the main thing you have to get over, because it's the fear that kept a lot of people from fighting back. And it was also overcoming that fear is how a lot of our revolutionaries got out there and did what the hell they had to do. Okay, the Haitians, perhaps, they got over the fear, honey, and did what they had to do and wasn't afraid to die. If you ain't if you still afraid, oh, I might lose my job, and oh my God, and then I can't pay my mortgage, and I might lose my car. You're so worried about material bullshit that you're not even willing to stand up. And little do you know, if you get together and unite and stand up, what can they do? Okay, it's just like the NBA. If all them brothers say, you know what, we're not playing today, we're going to make a statement about these folks killing our people, what they going to do? Can they go out there and just replace everybody in the NBA in a season? It could take a whole year. But they're not going to do it, because they already know. See, that's why you can't be no punk. And that you got to be able to overcome that and put all your personal stuff behind you and come together with other like-minded black people to get stuff done. That's what's going to have to happen. Okay, like-minded black folks are going to have to get together and make a stand and put your foot down and don't waver. That's what our ancestors did. You think we'd even have what we have now if it wasn't for those our ancestors that did what they had to do and were not afraid? All these handkerchief head house niggas and coons, where would we be if we had to rest and wait on them to help us get something. No, the fire is inside of you. It ain't about waiting on somebody. As my friend says all the time, you know, when birds fly south, do they wait on one bird to come say, hey y'all, come on, it's time to go? No, they know what they got to do. They get in formation and they fly. And then that's why they're in that V, because the front birds go to the back so the other ones can move forward and keep the thing going. So they keep switching and turning around like that so they can keep the flight going, so the birds that's tired can rest a little and the other ones take it from there. That's how you do it. Now, we need to look at nature. Egyptians looked at nature all the time on how we should be acting. Okay, and the animals got more damn sense than we do. That's the problem. Okay, you can't, it's easy to sit back and do nothing and allow shit, and then you wonder why you in the shape you in, or why nobody respects you, or why the same crap keeps happening over and over and over and over and over, because you're afraid. Well, my thing is this, how much worse can it get? Do something and you can change things. But sitting back waiting because you're scared will get you nothing, and you will stay in the same damn place you are right now. Okay, that is the reason why we can't come together the way we should. Some of us do, most of us don't. They've already put that fear so deep in there, okay, that you have to really go inside yourself and deal with it. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm the answer to everything, or you know what I'm saying, oh, she talking crazy. No, honey, go back, keep following this series so you can finally start seeing how all this stuff comes together, and you can see what the big plan is. You can see what it is. And if there's anything, the fact that we are still here, the fact that we are still creating, the fact that we are still beautiful people, we're still making music and being who we are, is a testament to what we owe our ancestors. We are standing on their shoulders, and doggone it, I know they tired. And who gonna stand on ours? If half of us are coons that wouldn't stand up straight if their life depended on it. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. Go inside. Take these exercises. Apply it to who you know you are and the things you've been through. Fear paralyzes you and keeps you from being who you're supposed to be. It depersonalizes you. I will share with you, and I've done it before, so it does not bother me. I was raped when I was 6 years old, okay? Depersonalization is when you are so afraid, it's like you have an outer body experience. And that's what happened to me when I was 6 years old. That was so traumatic that I just kind of left my body, and I wasn't there. It was like I was looking at myself. Okay, how many of us have gone through that same thing where we just, because you can't deal and it's too traumatic for you to deal with, you go out of yourself and kind of have an outer body experience and look at yourself, because that's not you. I'm not here. I'm not. Think about how with rape, with domestic violence, with all the stuff that happened to us before. That was a coping mechanism. And trust me, black people are full of them, because we had to even get to where we are now. So, as I said, it's time, brothers and sisters, to go back and understand this thing, understand intergenerational trauma, and heal yourself. That's why I'm going to keep doing these healing, hump day healings, until we get through all this material and understand it for what it is. And heal ourselves. Don't you want to feel normal? Most of us don't even know what normal is. And I know some of y'all are like, oh, yes, I do. See, y'all always going back to that bullshit. Y'all always, no, we're going back to pay homage to our ancestors, and to understand the trials and tribulations they went through, and then how that has been passed down generation by generation. That's what we got to understand. We're not the only people that experience intergenerational trauma. Hell, the Jews did. Okay, with the Holocaust. Native Americans have. There's a lot of people in Bosnia have. You know, anybody that's been traumatized and put through something is going to be affected by it, and then the generations to come after them will be affected by it. So this is not something just with us. It's many people have experienced it, but we're the ones that need to really come back and understand it and deal with it to change our situation. Because if we keep letting stuff go and not do anything, we're done. We're done. Okay, and we will have contributed to it by not doing the work and not getting the healing that we deserve, so we can be functional, healthy, mentally healthy people. Okay, so that's all I got for this week, and I thank you guys for following this series, and please like and subscribe, pass it on, and I'm hoping that once I finish the whole series, I'll put it all together and we can start sharing it in our communities and helping our people to heal. That's the key. Once we heal, once we even just work on healing, we'll be able to come together the way we should. So you take care, and I'll see you next week.